Well, the Ireland Film Festival is in full swing, and it wouldn't be the film festival without Mark Kermode, who's made a quick trip over. He's on telly on Friday night. He's here on Saturday to do a very special thing tonight. In fact, let's deal with that first, because
Yes.
John Hurt is your guest.
Yes, so we're doing an on-stage Q&A with John Hurt at the Gaiety, which of course is such a wonderful theatre. We were here last year with the Dodge Brothers doing a silent film at the Gaiety. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm a huge fan of John Hurt, as I think everyone is. It was funny, we were just looking through his filmography and thinking, we should pull up some key clips for his films to do a kind of reel at the beginning. And then you go, yeah, we'll have that, and then we'll have that, and then there's that. And you think there's like 25 films which you have to have clips from. How are you going to start to whittle it down? So we're going to have a Q&A on stage, then hopefully he's going to take some questions from the audience, and then we're going to show The Elephant Man, which is still, an absolutely extraordinary work.
And you picked that because it is so extraordinary.
Yeah, it's been widely acclaimed, and his performance is unbelievable when you consider working through an enormous amount of makeup, bringing such a degree of sort of sensitivity and sympathy to that role. Also because it's a film that I've shown quite recently. I show 35mm prints of films, and I showed a print of it a couple of years ago in London, in a cinema in London. And I was astonished by how powerful it was emotionally still. The whole audience was in tears. It hasn't aged a bit. And the reason for that is because it's played so well. I think David Lynch is an extraordinary director, and I think it's a very good piece of screenwriting. But it's such a brilliant central performance, and and I think it stands the test of time, and I think you can watch it at any time, and it's always going to touch you.
That's why you didn't pick all the little animals.
Yeah, no,
so
I know.
He's going to go immediately, and the reason for that potentially was because.
Well, because of the connection with the island. So absolutely. Yeah.
You know everything. But go on. Was that a good film, by the way? I never saw it.
Yeah, absolutely. But then you see, then you go, okay, now start choosing for me the John Hurt films that aren't good. So, for example, Love and Death in Long Island. Well, that's actually one of my favourite John Hurt films and one of his favourite John Hurt films, but not very well seen. We were trying to find a clip of it, and it's very hard to source. And the filmography starts back with 10 Rillington Place, and The Naked Civil Servant, and then the most recent stuff we've got is Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. There is an astonishing amount of stuff. Believe me, we would happily show all of those films, but we've got 3/4 of an hour.
So you've got Q&A,
yes.
Then you're going to show the film that way around. So, and in the Gaiety?
Yes, in the Gaiety. Which
projection, not 35mm?
No, we're showing it digitally because it's very, very hard to set up a 35mm projector in the Gaiety would be pretty much impossible because obviously it's a theatre. But we know the digital projection works well because last year when we were here with the Dodge Brothers, we did Beggars of Life, and we projected that, we rear-projected that from a digi, and it looked splendid. It's only a 14-foot screen, so it's a fairly modest screen. But it's such a beautiful stage area, and that theatre is so well designed because obviously that theatre is designed from the time when everybody had to have perfect eye lines. It wasn't all to do with amplification; it was to do with everybody being close enough to the screen, to the stage, to see what was going on. So it's going to look really lovely.